Discover solutions to issues that affect your family and professional life with practical information to help you get past life's adversities. Take a proactive approach to power up your life with Rosalie's expert resources.
Most kids can't wait for the school day to end to get home and play. Choosing the best activities to keep young minds busy and creative juices flowing can be a challenge. Education specialist, toy commentator, and columnist Meridith Sinclair joins us this morning with some terrific ideas on how you can keep kids engaged in creative play after school and keep them busy all the way through bedtime. Good morning, Meridith.
Good morning.
Inquisitive kids want to know how things work from the bottom up. So what's good for kids that love to build stuff?
Okay, so after a long day at school, it's really important to give kids open-ended, creative playtime. So kids who love to build are going to love these new sets by Lego Creator. This one is called the Changing Seasons set. What I love about these is that it really gives kids the opportunity to imitate real life with really fun features like a grill with the brick that really lights up, and a pool, and a garden, and 3 minifigures. And this set changes through the season as well. It goes from an autumn house to a winter house to a summer house, and really opens up creative play for kids.
Any new ways to make personal computing playful?
Absolutely. You're going to want to check out the 2015 Logitech Play Collection. This is a batch of fun mice that have been sort of reinvented with fun characters on the front and designs that even will speak to your teens and tweens. And what I love about this is it's a great shape for kids' hands, and it'll help them really be more precise when they're scrolling and tracking and navigating web pages. Plus, it has a long-lasting battery, which parents love, so it will last up to 18 months. It just makes their screen time more playful.
How can we get those kids to wind down and make bedtime more exciting and magical?
This is the new Storytime Theater, and what I love about this is it brings stories to life by projecting them onto the wall. And all you have to do is download the app onto your device and then press the press and play character on the device, and it opens up and unlocks the story. And what's great is it has a read to me mode for pre-readers, a read to myself mode for the emergent readers, and then a bedtime mode, which is great for parents whose kids might be resistant because it reads the story and then has a starry show that then ends in 10 minutes by itself.
What do you have for girls that love to imagine and play?
This is Sandy's home that turns into an ocean cruiser when you flip it up. And what's fun is it has this magic point technology. So if I move her around to different places on the playset, she will interact and light up and say things. So for girls who might be playing on their own after school, it's great because it's interactive, individual play. But if they have a friend over, it's even more fun because this is a really interactive toy. Okay, this is the trendiest thing for girls right now. It's all about personalizing your backpacks and lunch boxes and gym bags. They love that. So they're going to love this Hip Fits. These are collector dresses that come in a clip. So they can clip it onto anything they want, and there's like over 20 different styles, and really gives girls a chance to tap into their fashion individuality. And what's really special is that they have partnered with the Breast Cancer Research Foundation to create special pink dresses for their pink dress campaign.
What will stimulate a child's interest in programming to help them learn to interact and socialize?
Okay, so we know programming is the skill for the 21st century for kids. So Ozobot is where it's at. These are little tinker robots that kids can program themselves. When your kids draw things on paper, that robot will follow along their drawings, and then using the Ozo app, they can program these themselves to do fun things like even dance.
Thanks, Meredith, for sharing how to get our kids engaged in after-school creative play all the way through bedtime.
Absolutely.
Students from across the country put their skills to the test at the 8th Annual 4-H National Youth Science Day competition. Students used STEM skills, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, to solve an everyday growing problem of distracted driving, with this year's theme as Motion Commotion. Joining us from the National Youth Science Day in Washington, D.C. is former astronaut Leland Melvin and Jennifer Sarangelo, President and CEO of the National 4-H Council. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rose.
Leland, you are a National Football League player, then an astronaut. How did you get involved in the National 4-H Council?
Well, 4-H, when I was working at NASA headquarters, after I hung up my space boots, we were working with all the federal agencies, so USDA, EPA, all these people, and we actually have done work with 4-H with NASA. And so after retiring from NASA, I found out that they were doing this National Youth Science Day, and I said, wow, this would be a great way to help continue that journey through education and letting kids see that, I was a scientist, I was an engineer, but I became an astronaut, and that you can do anything you put your mind to. So again, increasing the pipeline of especially women and underrepresented minorities in STEM is something that we both have a very big interest in, to make sure that young girls can see that they can do this just like the boys. But it's about using Newton's laws to solve problems. You see a car on an inclined plane with a little passenger, and that kid or that person in the car is going up against different obstacles. So how does distracted driving, whether you're texting, turning on the radio, or talking on the phone, how does that impact the car if you're turned away from your driving duties and you run into something? So what happens to the passenger? So that's one element of it. And the second element is, what are your reaction times? If you're a kid and you're seeing how quickly you can catch a ruler as it's falling through your hands, you're timing it, you're using your cell phone, you're using all these things, what does that distraction time mean, or that reaction time mean to the final result of being distracted and something happening in your car? So we're using real world relevant things that are topical today to help teach the fundamentals of science and technology and engineering and mathematics.
Jennifer, what is the goal of this 4-H project?
The goal of 4-H National Youth Science Day is to spark an interest in science, technology, engineering, and math in young people all over the country, and to inspire them to consider the opportunities and careers for the future. Ultimately, we want to build that pipeline of future leaders and innovators in STEM for our country. Science isn't just something that is in a classroom or in a book, or that means you have to do homework, but that science is fun, you can do it with your friends, and it has a real world application. So we've been learning about how that can connect for them, and this makes science relevant.
And what reactions did you see and hear today during Science Day?
So I was sitting with a group of young girls, and I asked them what they learned, and their eyes lit up, and they said, we learned that the car goes faster if the hill is higher. And they were talking about Newton, and they were 6 years old. I was very impressed. So I saw the spark happening, and it made me know that all this work that we're doing together, it really matters.
Thank you both for sharing the excitement of young people involved in motion commotion to learn more about physics, speed, and safety.
Thank you.
Rose.
How much do you know about U.S. energy policies? A recent study released by the American Petroleum Institute shows that the pro-energy policies could fuel our economy by adding over 2 million U.S. jobs and $443 billion per year to our economy by the year 2035. Here to discuss this study and energy policies' effects on the U.S. economy is Louis Finkel, Executive Vice President of the American Petroleum Institute and a South Florida guy. Good morning, Louis.
Good morning, Rose. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. The study found pro-energy policies will lower average annual household energy costs and save about $360 per household, correct?
Correct.
All right, so why are energy policies such a vital part of the U.S. economy, and few political leaders are discussing their energy vision to the public?
From my standpoint, and for the American Petroleum Institute, we don't look at candidates through the partisan lens. Our candidate's not a Democrat, our candidate's not a Republican, our candidate is energy. And what we want to see and what we want to hear from candidates for all offices, not just the presidential candidates, but for Congress, for the Senate, at all levels of government, is really their vision for American energy. Now, our view is that we need that pro-growth, that pro-energy agenda. We need to be looking towards growing our economy, and let me explain why. 10 years ago, we lived in a period of scarcity, where more than 60% of our oil was coming from outside the United States. A lot of it from OPEC countries, and in a lot of cases from countries that don't like us very much. But we've changed that. Investments in innovation and technology have really changed the game for Americans. We now import less than 30% of our oil, and most of that is from North America. And as you noted, the more we grow our energy sector, our oil and gas production here in the United States, it grows our economy, it creates jobs, grows the economy, but more importantly, Rose, it creates downward pressure for consumers. For every 1 cent the price of gasoline goes down, that puts another $1 billion back in the pockets of consumers. So we want to see the United States thrive on growing our energy sector and growing our economy.
All right, what are some basics our viewers should know about pro-energy policies?
Well, Rose, what we need to start with is we need to increase our production. And what we've seen during this energy renaissance over the last 8 to 10 years is most of that has been on private lands. But there are enormous energy resources, both oil and gas, on federal lands, and the federal government needs to open up those federal lands. We need to get access to those federal lands. During a period of time where we've seen enormous growth in oil and gas production on private property, we've seen the amount of oil and gas brought forward from federal lands go down. We need to open up our offshore resources and tap into those reserves that are off of our coasts. We need to talk about ensuring that the regulatory regime doesn't stifle production and doesn't constrain our production here in the United States. The federal government is the largest landowner in the country. We're talking about federal lands that are controlled by the Bureau of Land Management, which are clearly there for this purpose.
So how does energy policies impact everyone in the U.S. and filter down to the U.S. economy?
So what we really need to be talking about is, are we prepared to secure our energy future, which creates energy security and, more just as importantly, Rose, creates a level of global security. Our trading partners, our allies around the world, want to buy our energy. They want to buy our natural gas, they want to buy our oil, and we should be putting it into the global marketplace, which doesn't only benefit our allies, but also creates global downward pressure on the price of oil and thus on gasoline.
Thank you, Louis, for joining us this morning to share pro-energy policies and its effect on our economy.
And as a Floridian, thank you, Rose. I always appreciate getting home a little bit, even if it's just on camera.
Do you know your body mass index, or BMI? Well, knowing more about your body can affect your wallet. A new study shows that understanding simple personal information about 4 common health conditions could help you save as much as $500 a year in out-of-pocket costs. Joining us this morning with some simple ways to improve your health and your bottom line is health services expert Jackie Aube. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Rosalie. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. All right, Jackie, is it fair to say that if we take a proactive stand and care for our health, we'll ultimately save money?
Absolutely, yes. In fact, Cigna just completed a 3-year study that actually underscores what you just said. And in that study, we found that one way to be proactive is to know your numbers in 4 key areas. Those areas I like to refer to as the 3 B's and the C, and that is your body mass index, or BMI, your blood pressure, your blood glucose levels or blood sugar levels, and your cholesterol. Knowing these 4 numbers can actually improve your health, but also save you money.
All right, so how much in additional cost can these conditions add up to in a given year?
Yeah, so it can be expensive. Having elevated rates in any one of these conditions can cost you between $300 and $500 a year per person, more than you would otherwise have to spend. And if you have 2 or more of these conditions, it can cost up to $1,300 or more. So it can be expensive.
So how can we determine where we stand with these 4 health conditions?
Yeah, well, what I would encourage everyone to do is to take advantage of your annual physical exam, your preventive visit that is covered under all health plans, actually. And those are covered as a preventive visit at 100%. So you don't even have to worry about, paying out of pocket for that one screening or health exam. So schedule that right away if you haven't had it. And then during that conversation with your physician, make sure you ask them about these 4 areas so that you understand where you stand.
If our numbers aren't ideal, what can we do to fix them?
Take advantage of all the programs that your health coverage offers. For example, most employer-sponsored plans and Cigna plans offer health improvement programs as a part of the normal premium that you're paying. And these, many people don't realize that these exist, and they come in the form of many different types of programs. There's one-to-one coaching if you prefer to connect with an individual. These are trained clinicians that are experts in helping to motivate individuals to improve these conditions. Or if you're the type of individual that really prefers to do things online, we have online courses that you can take and continue to hit your goals. And then more and more individuals are getting excited about so many of the health apps that are available, which you can also access through Cigna. And these are often connected to wearable devices that can help you improve your health and keep it top of mind throughout the day.
Thanks, Jackie, for sharing the importance of knowing more about your health conditions to save hundreds of dollars each year.
Terrific. Thanks, Rosalie.
According to the University of Florida Department of Family, Youth, and Community Sciences, over 4 million Floridians provide care for a family member or friends. And nearly 40 million Americans provide unpaid care as caregivers to adults with chronic conditions and disabilities who are living at home more than ever before. Here to discuss caregivers' challenges in caring for a loved one is Dr. John Sabra, practicing general and trauma surgeon. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Fact is, 60% of caregivers are employed. I was my father's caregiver. I was a single mother. I was working 2 jobs in graduate school, and I lacked nursing and wound care skills and training. So what advice can you offer caregivers which care for a loved one?
It can be difficult, as you outlined, for sure. And part of what we need to do is educate people. Just like you said, you didn't have the background in education, so we need to do that together. Physicians and nurses, family members, patients need to come together as a team, especially with discharge planning, and be comfortable with the situation. If it's wound care, for example, familiarize themselves with what the physician expects as far as care at home, and then familiarize themselves with the products that are available, resources that are available to help them have a comfort level and be able to increase the level of care that they're giving.
So how can caregivers better assess a patient's health needs to prevent hospital readmissions?
Ask your doctor. Ask what the expectation is. How can I educate myself better? And I'm here with Cardinal Health trying to get that message out. We need to partner together, give patients the information they need, and then give them the resources they need and hospital quality products they need to take care of that wound, to be comfortable. That way they're not coming back in 2 days later at midnight into the emergency room with some questions. We want to increase the comfort level and the quality of care.
Should caregivers ask to meet the doctor to understand a patient's needs before they're discharged?
A discharge is the best time to do that. Coordinate with the nurses and your physician, have a discharge meeting, ask all the questions at that point, ask for the red flags, what should I look for on these wounds, for example, that might need me to come back. So again, coordinated team effort is the important point.
Thank you, doctor, for joining us this morning and offering advice and resources to help caregivers offer a greater quality of life to their loved ones.
Thank you so much.
Everyday life assaults our skin, from climate to free radicals to pollution to everyday stress, work, family, not sleeping, and of course, the Florida sun. Here to share some simple lifestyle changes along with at-home skincare treatments is Dr. Katie Rodin and Dr. Kathy Fields, practicing dermatologists and co-authors of the bestseller, Write Your Skin, A Prescription for Change. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I love your book. It's jam-packed with skincare basics and advice. And it also includes dermatological procedures. No fluff, just love it. All right, so how much does our DNA contribute to our visible aging? Or is it our environment and our daily habits that work against our DNA?
You know, that's a great question because we blame our parents and we give up. But the truth is, only 20% of aging is your DNA, your genetics. 80% of aging is within your control. That would be the environment. That's your alcohol intake. That's your daily habits that are having the greatest impact in how we age. So it's good news because you can make your difference.
All right, so what creates more damage to our skin? Stress or the sun?
Sun accounts for probably a good 70-80% of how our skin ages overall. So you really want to avoid it. You want to use sunscreen to really protect your skin, but stress is a very important factor. All you have to do is, look at a friend who's going through a stressful event, a divorce, a job loss, and you can really see it written all over her face. Her skin is sallow, it's puffy, it's blotchy. If she's prone to acne, it's going to break out more, other skin conditions like psoriasis. So it really does take a tremendous toll on our skin overall.
Offer some simple lifestyle changes that make a big difference in how we age.
All right, simple things. Number one, sleep on your back. Because if you sleep on your face or on your side, you're literally engraving and etching these crazy sleep creases all the way through your face, from your forehead down through your jawline. So that's one simple thing. Avoid excessive alcohol, be careful with salty foods. Exercise is great for your skin. Not jogging, but everything else. That actually over time begins to loosen those little skin ligaments. So what you really want to do is exercise. It gets great blood flow. But jogging, on the other hand, that tremendous impact over miles can really start to sag your skin.
What important ingredients are in at-home skincare treatment to treat wrinkles and lines? And are they very effective?
You want to look for products that contain ingredients like hyaluronic acid. Peptides are very good for helping to build the skin structure. Retinol is excellent, glycolic acid, antioxidants. One of the things that we have done, because we firmly believe that how you take care of your skin every day has a greater long-term impact than any procedure you could do in our offices, from Botox to laser, is to give people the types of products and tools that we find are effective with our patients. One of them is in this acute care patch. And what this patch is, it's taken from the semiconductor industry, is it contains little micro liquid cones made of that hyaluronic acid and peptides that you can place over lines of expression to really flood the skin, to plump up the skin while you sleep, so that the next day when you have to be on camera like we're on today, your skin really does look great and much more youthful.
On our website, we have a solution tool where you put in your skin parameters and concerns, and we literally can tell you exactly what you need, which regimen is perfect for you.
Thank you, Dr. Rodan and Dr. Fields, for sharing some simple lifestyle changes to improve our skin's appearance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One of our greatest fears is to be diagnosed with cancer. The concept of a good day is gone forever. In the U.S., millions of men and women affected by the disease have been transformed through the experience and a support system that help them redefine their sense of normalcy. Here to raise awareness about the Ford Warriors in Pink Good Day Project to lessen the burden of living with breast cancer is breast cancer survivor and advocate Joan Lunden. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning.
Tell us about the Good Day Project and how it came about.
Well, Ford has been really fighting this battle against breast cancer for over 20 years. They've already dedicated over $128 million to the cause, but they've kind of stepped it up now, and they started this More Good Days to try to offer and different kinds of ways to bring more good days to women going through breast cancer treatment. They partnered with Lyft, and so Lyft operates in 60 countries providing rides, and you can actually gift someone going through breast cancer a free ride to their breast cancer treatment and back by simply going to Lyft, and that's spelled, by the way, Lyft, lyft.com/moregooddays. And then they also partnered with Meal Train, and that's the coolest online platform where a family can go on and make a profile, and you kind of like lay out on a calendar what you need: meals at night, babysitting, grocery shopping, all the things that a mom would normally do, except now she's feeling, you know, crummy because she's in the middle of cancer treatment. And everybody can fill in the spaces, and before you know it, everything's getting done that a woman needs to get done. It's an amazing program. So you can set up a family profile also by going to mealtrain.com/Ford Warriors in Pink. And these are the little things, but they're the little things that make such a big difference in helping a woman get through the breast cancer battle.
All right, Joan, and how did you get involved in the Good Day Project?
Well, I launched AliveWithJoan.com. It's my online breast cancer channel, and Ford Warriors in Pink is a charter partner. So I'm so happy to be partnering with them on this, because they are really, I mean, I like highlighting them because I think other companies might say, whoa, we need to step up to the plate here. They provide so much information, and you can just go to FordCares.com and find out all kinds of tips, because sometimes people just don't know how to navigate that, and they want to reach out and help somebody going through breast cancer, but they're not quite sure how. Also, if you go to Warriors in Pink, check out this beautiful scarf. They've got all kinds of cool workout gear, and 100% of the net proceeds from everything that you buy on that website goes to breast cancer research. So they're doing a real good thing here.
When one lives through this experience, they are disoriented because they have to learn a new normal.
Nobody wants to battle cancer, but it really changed the trajectory of my life and my career in a good way. And if I can be here to help motivate another woman listening right now, if you're not doing your self-breast exams, you should be every month, so you know your body and you know you're normal. And if you think something's wrong, get yourself in to get a mammogram. And if you're 40 years old, you should be getting that mammogram every year. Find it early, and you have a very good chance of surviving.
Thanks, Joan, for raising awareness of Ford Warriors, helping to motivate those battling breast cancer by making their day-to-day lives easier.
Thank you.
Stimulating our children through creative play and science competitions inspire them to take a responsible role in caring for themselves and others. Overcoming life's challenges redefines our sense of normalcy. Share with us your motivation to redefine your sense of normalcy at facebook.com/Rose Lee Show, or follow us on Instagram @The Rose Lee Show. And watch this episode on ION TV and dozens of past episodes at the RoselyArcherShow.com website. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we'll see you soon.